Hi traders, well, we've got another episode of Technical Tuesdays today, and the dollar has been absolutely flying of late. Bounced on that 50-day simple moving average and just went vertical. The RSI's moved into overbought and looks like it wants to turn a bit lower now. Hit a bit of resistance here. We surpassed that high there at 104.885. And now price seems to be taking a bit of a breather. Whether this is going to be just a brief retracement and a continuation of the trend higher is something for markets to decide. We've got the Fed FOMC meeting tomorrow, and my concern would be is that I think the surge in 2-year yields, the surge in rates pricing, we've become very, very hawkish now. So the bar for a disappointment is quite high, but also the Wall Street Journal floated that article about a 75 basis point move. So it's certainly going to be interesting. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. We broke below that key 3.8 low here. And now price is trying to have a bit of a rally back up, a little bit of a bounce. In terms of targets, I'd be looking around here. There's a tiny bit of a support at around 3.9. And then on the downside, obviously below there, zoom out a bit here. And the next level for me to watch would be around here at about 3.7. So not too far, about 87 points off. RSI is not an oversold yet. It's still got a bit of room to run if we were to continue to sell off. Let's take a look at Euro US dollar. Here we go. We can see it's bouncing again too. It got close back to that 13th of May low at around 103.497. The RSI again didn't get all the way into overbought territory, which is important because there's still some room left to carry on selling off if we do. GBP USD broke through that low and it's starting to have a little bit of a bounce here again, similar to Euro US dollar, but it's not great that it's broken through that low there. 120 looks like it could be on the cards. On the upside, 122.6, 123.2, those are the levels I'll be looking at. And then above there, we've obviously got that 23.6 Fibonacci retracement level. Euro GBP is looking very, very interesting. We're knocking on that door there at around 0.86. The RSI is not close to that area where its previous price actions peaked. So that's one to note. Above there, I would say about 0.865 is the level to next watch. And then below, we've obviously got the round number 0.85. And then we can see there's a bit of a golden cross here. The 50-day simple moving average crossed above the 200-day. So things are looking quite bullish for Euro GBP. Let's look at dollar yen. Dollar yen's just been drifting. We've obviously seen that strong run up and it got into overbought. And yeah, I think people are getting a bit nervous about maybe the Bank of Japan intervening. I'm not expecting fireworks from them this Friday. I think they're going to keep policy sort of, unchanged. They're not going to change their yield curve control. They're not going to change their interest rate. They may change their guidance, but that shouldn't do anything for US dollar JPY. I think it's only a dollar story this week. Aussie dollar again came right down to that 0.69 level there. And if we're seeing a bit of a bounce this morning, obviously Aussie dollar is very sensitive to risk. So when risk nosedives, the Aussie dollar follows suit. But AUD JPY, a barometer of risk, we can see it's having a bit of a bounce just above this 50-day simple moving average, which is quite important. And it's definitely one to watch while you are trying to think about where risk sentiment's going in general. And obviously Bitcoin too is another one. Gold got absolutely hammered yesterday with a spike in yields. Obviously, it's a non-yielding asset, so when real yields spike, people send their money elsewhere. And I think it also shows, that it's king dollar when markets really are under duress. People go to US dollars cash. They don't go to gold. They liquidate everything. Even gold gets put on the chopping board, so to speak. Brent was one of the only assets actually in the green yesterday, and that was due to the Libyan oil fields being closed and obviously taking supply offline. We're just hovering below that 125 area. And then I want to finish off with interest rate pricing. So as I said to you yesterday, as I was saying to you earlier today in the video, rates has just spiked higher. We can see now for the December 2022 contract, we're almost pricing in 11 rate hikes, which is essentially basically 8 hikes would be 200 basis points. So it'd be 275 basis points um, before we have tomorrow's meeting. Now that's a lot, and it's just gone absolutely vertical. So that basically explains why bonds and everything were going crazy yesterday. There's just been a complete repricing in rates expectations, not just in the US and the Eurozone and in the UK too. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Technical Tuesdays. I'll see you next week for the next episode. Thanks for joining.